but my remote has stopped working. So my colleague is going to change the slides for me. So let's get started. Okay, here, one moment. Let's see if I can make this work. Okay, so today our topic is, one more slide. Next one. Great. Okay. If this is your first time to join the class, I apologize. It's not normally like this, but let me tell you how the classes work. So today our topic is prepositions of place. If you have a question during the class, you can write your question in the comments section and I'll answer it at the end of the class. I also have a few questions to see if you understood what we've learned today, and you can write your answers in the comments section as well. Okay, so before we get started, let's look at a few fun facts about prepositions. Okay, so did you know that prepositions are used to link nouns, pronouns, and other words in a sentence? There are more than 100 prepositions in the English language. It is possible to end a sentence with a preposition, but not recommended, as it doesn't sound very good. And finally, many prepositions can also be adjectives, adverbs, so pay attention to know the difference between the two. Okay, so now we're going to look at some examples of prepositions of place and some example sentences. Okay, so our first one is the preposition in. We use this to talk about enclosed spaces. So for example, you can say, I'm holding the strawberries in my hand. Okay, next we have at. We use this to talk about a specific point or location. So you can say, I'm waiting for you at the station. Next is on. We use on to talk about surfaces, like a table. So for example, you can say, there's a coffee on the table. Next is in front of. We use this to talk about something that is just ahead or at the front part of something. So for example, the woman here is holding a scarf in front of her face. Okay, behind is the opposite of in front of, so this is further back than. For example, the T in this picture is behind the vegetables, and for example, the TV is behind Teacher Robin. Okay, next to. We use next to when we talk about two things that are beside or to one side of each other. Here we have a mug of coffee and some cookies or biscuits. So you can say there's a biscuit next to the mug. Okay, so beside is the same. It's a synonym of next to, but slightly more formal. Okay, so in this picture, you can say the shoes are beside my phone, the camera is beside the iPad, the hat is beside the bag, etc. Okay? Okay, our next preposition is inside. So this is when you are within an enclosed space like a building or your house, for example, in the inner side or surface of something. So you can say, I'm standing inside my house looking out the window. On the other hand, the opposite is outside. So when you are not in an enclosed space, the outer side or surface of something. So you can say, look outside. Can you see if it's raining? Okay, above. We use above to talk about something that is in a higher place than something else. Here we have some different bottles on a shelf. You can say the empty bottles are on the shelf above the full ones. Okay? Now the opposite would be under or below. So under is in a lower place than something. For example, the woman was standing under the bridge and the bridge is above the woman. Okay, so another way to say above is over. Okay, this is above something or someone. For example, an airplane flies over you, over your head, okay, in a higher position. We use the preposition from to talk about the starting point of something, the place where something starts, where you start from. For example, my friend is leaving from Prague tonight at 11 p.m. So Prague is the starting point. Okay, up. This is in a higher direction or a higher position. So for example, you walk upstairs. We have to go up to the third floor, for example. Okay, through is when you go in one side of something and out the other side, like a tunnel. You can see here a tunnel, so you can say we walked through the tunnel, in one side and out the other side of the tunnel. Okay, past is when you walk from one end to the other of something further than one point. So, for example, if you look at the red building in the picture, you can say you have to drive past the red building and then turn left. Okay, so all the way to the other end of something. Okay, round is from one point to the other, but in a circular movement or direction. Okay, from the beginning to end in a circle. The most common example would be a roundabout. So when you're giving driving directions, you can say, I have to go round the roundabout, from one side to the other side. Okay, we use toward when you are talking about going in the direction of something. For example, if you are inland and you go to the sea, you can say we're going toward the seaside. Or right now, I'm walking toward the camera, in the direction of. Okay, so we've just looked at quite a few prepositions of place. I want to see if you understood what we just learned. So I have 3 questions for you, and I want you to write your answer in the comment section. These questions are fill in the blank, and there may be more than one correct answer. Okay? So the first question is, the dog is sitting the sofa. What preposition of place could go in this blank? The dog is sitting the sofa. Number 2. Your Christmas gift is the box. Your Christmas gift is the box. What preposition of place could go in this blank here? And number 3. The ball fell the table. The ball fell the table. Okay, what goes here? Remember that if you joined us late or if you didn't catch all of the information in the live streaming, you can watch it again when the class is finished. You can pause, you can take notes.